Hey there, it's Stacy, Cycle Points, and we are going to talk about week 2 of the Pisces lunar cycle. Last week it was all about welcoming in, receiving energies about what we want to dream, what we want to idealize, what does our future look like, who does our future look like, and what are the things that we are going to begin to let go of even more in our world in order to allow us to dream even more and to see even further possibilities and further potential. And so when that brings us to the second week of the cycle, we're looking at the first quarter moon. And the first quarter moon is a time for us to look at how can we improve upon our efforts in order to help that cycle move its way through. So as we're working with Pisces and we're working with the theme of idealizing and releasing in order to idealize what our future is, as we hit that first quarter moon, we enter the sign of Gemini. And Gemini is about how we process information. Gemini is about how we communicate, how we learn from our environment and learn from each other so that we are able to be adaptable and be flexible and continue to grow and expand our ideas, to develop networks that we can grow our ideas with, and to develop systems within those networks, within our day-to-day experience that work with us and that fit into the flow of how we get around our day and create our life and create ultimately the visions that we want to create. Gemini is the symbol or the sign of the twins, and Gemini is very much tied to sibling energy. And the reason for that is because siblings are the first people that we are learning from. They are our first teachers. We share with our siblings in order to get feedback from them about their opinions of how we see the world and how we act within the world and what we choose to do to bring our ideas to light in the world. We do a lot of that on the playground of life within our home environment with our siblings, and then it takes us into schooling where we learn and we are on the playground literally with other kids and our peers and learning from them. And so this is really an opportunity for us to step out into our daily life and our daily experience where we go and get our coffee every day, when we go to the library, when we are at school or at work, or all the different places that we vision and visit throughout our daily experience. And as we're there, what are we taking in from those environments? What are we hearing? What stories are coming up that are reminding us of stories that we are currently moving through, or past limiting beliefs that we are finding ourselves moving through right now in order to see the future? So some examples of that is like being at the coffee store and hearing somebody ending their relationship with a lover, with a partner, and listening to them talk about the potential that they see happening for them now, and having that spark thought into their own visions. Or in my situation, and I typically don't bring in stories from me until I get to podcast time at full moon, but I can. In my situation, it's like, how do you want your family life with your siblings and your people, your really close network of people, to look like moving forward? And given what I've personally moved through in my life in the last couple of years, there is a whole lot of limiting beliefs and insecurities and fears that I need to let go of in order to develop a new base for that to grow, and for our relationships to shift and change in different ways, and to get over things that have been painful in the past in order for us to grow together. So this period of Gemini energy, which will follow by Cancer, and then we'll go into Leo, the shift that shifts with that is that we are truly having these conversations and hearing things in our environments and taking in different kinds of information to process it, to try to be discerning and to try to take our ego out so that we can be flexible and to listen to where other people are coming from and where other people are moving at their life and where they're trying to go and the potential they're trying to reach. And we can honor that and then choose how we can then move with our environment from that point. When we shift later into this week and we start to work with Cancer energy, that's emotional and close to the home. Oftentimes that does bring things that are home and family related, and so it could very well be driving things in terms of, in my situation, working with my siblings on certain things. So in terms of Cancer and in terms of home and past stories, that also just has to do with any limiting stories that you've been holding on to. And Cancer provides these opportunities for us to mother ourselves and to develop boundaries around what it is that we want to support with ourselves moving forward. And because Gemini started us off with how to improve the way we communicate, this is giving us an opportunity, communicate and process information. The Cancer part of this week will really be allowing us to set some boundaries around how we want to continue to evolve our ideas, and set some boundaries in terms of how we're going to communicate or how we're going to receive information so that it doesn't affect us too far emotionally, that we're able to then plan forward. And the end of the week will tie us into Leo energy, which is really, as I always say, about our true authentic self. It's what Leo energy is, and how can we step into our daily experience in our world, speaking from our heart, speaking from how we want to be seen and how we want to be loved and idealized and respected for all the wonderful gifts and talents that we have to share and bring to the table. This energy, as we're working through Pisces, because Pisces is such an absorbent energy of everything, that we can feel it all. It's boundless water. It wants to experience everything that we can and all the emotions that come with it. This allows us to, as we're moving through the week, truly experience how other people are moving through it, because we will be working with our networks and our community, and develop those boundaries to understand what is important for us to hold on to, what is important for us to keep that dream going, and how we're going to carry our dream forward while still practicing compassion. So not allowing ego to overtake or emotions to overtake, but again, understanding that other people are moving through their own things and having respect for that. And when we get to the end of the week, loving them for who they are and what they have to offer, and understanding how that can still include itself into the things that we're building, even if it's not directly tied to that, with respect and with grace, and with room for each of us to do our own thing in this vast ocean that we're swimming throughout this cycle of Pisces. So that is the update for this week. As always, there is a full YouTube video on YouTube, and it is a long one. I haven't created timestamps yet, and that is my mission, to get through within this cycle, so that when people do start finding my stuff, I will have that as part of my system. So it's coming. But if you're patient and you are curious, then please go over to YouTube and check it out. And you can go through, but just by sliding, and you'll see where we are, because I have symbols that will show you what sign we're working on and which week we're working on throughout. And then you can also find my offerings on Substack. There's articles there that tie in. And what else? We have launched registration for my first course, Archetypes of the Zodiac, and you find that over through Maven's Call. Maven's Call is a platform that offers incredible consultation and expertise in bringing women like myself and our ideas and our visions and our dreams to the table. And, for me, what it did was really take all the things that all the different lifetimes that I've had in this life, all the different chapters where I was a behavioral therapist, and then I was a mother, as I was also a personal trainer, and working with women and developing ways for us to grow and better ourselves in terms of wellness. I really went from working with families to working with women and working with my own personal body. And now we're bringing in, how can we really transform and use all these things with a bit of a spiritual component. And spiritual doesn't have to be the spirituality all out there. It's a connection that you can form within yourselves by learning about the archetypes of astrology, by understanding the stories that are out there that you can then tie and look at the behaviors that you can follow within yourself. Astrology is all about cycles. Cycle Points is also all about cycles, and I hope to guide you and teach you how to work with cycles in your own world in order to step away from blowing up your world or creating chaos, and focus on something that's meaningful and gives you direct purpose and helps you align and plan for your future. Take care for now. Until next week. Bye-bye.